This episode of Soldier Knows Best is brought to you by lynda.com. Hey, what's up guys, Soldier Knows Best here, back with another review, and this is my review of the Sony RX100 Mark II. Now, I did a review of the Sony RX100 last year, and that was one of my favorite cameras of all time. So this is the successor to that, and I'm going to see whether this camera can still continue that tradition of being awesome just like the previous one. It also does have some few new features I'm going to cover. So it's going to start the review by taking a look at the design and the hardware. Now, at first glance, the Sony RX100 Mark II looks exactly the same as the previous RX100. It has the same color style, and also all the buttons and the control dial on the back are in the same position. But when you take a look at the top, you will notice something new there. You will notice this new multi-interface shoe connector that, just like the Sony RX50V that I reviewed a little bit earlier, this allows you to connect certain devices like an external microphone or external viewfinder to it and just really make your production a lot better with this camera, especially when it comes to video. And just finishing up our tour around the device, on the right hand side you will find the micro USB port and also the mini HDMI port. Then back up to the top you'll find the mode dial wheel and also the zoom controls, the on off button, and also you'll see where the pop-up flash comes up. And one of my favorite new additions to this camera is that the 3-inch LCD display is still a very nice, sharp, high quality display, but now it is tiltable. So you can tilt it up 84 degrees, and this will allow you to get down and low and take some macro shots and still be able to see exactly the image that you're going to be capturing. And then also too, you can tilt it down 45 degrees, and this will allow you to shoot over crowds, for example. If you had a concert trying to get a view of the stage, just hold it up, tilt the screen, and now you can see exactly what's going on still. And so the display, even though it's tilted out, does feel very solid. It doesn't feel like it's going to break easy, and I think this is an awesome addition to have on this camera. And also back is the manual control ring that gives you a lot of that DSLR functionality to this digital camera, and this will allow you to silently zoom in video mode, because normally if you just use these zoom controls, the regular ones, it's using the motor, so you'll hear that sound. Now you can just use the control ring to do that. Then also too, you can switch between creative effects and also your aperture or your exposure, and also commonly used focal lengths. And so you can do all this stuff with the control ring. This allows a lot more manual control over your camera. And RX100 Mark II is also boasting some new sharing features because it does have built-in Wi-Fi and built-in NFC capabilities. And so this allows you to wirelessly sync your photos to your smartphone, your tablet, or your computer very easily with no real setup at all. Now, if you're using the Wi-Fi, you just have to go and connect to this Wi-Fi network that the camera creates when you want to start sharing. Or if you're using NFC, you just need to tap that on a compatible device like my HTC One here, and then it'll automatically pair and allow you to share your photos. Now, also within Display Memories application, you can use your phone as a remote viewfinder for this camera. So you can put the camera up on a stool somewhere. If you want to get everybody in the group shot, you can frame it just right with your phone and then actually take the picture using that. And you can also control the zoom capabilities as well. Now let's move on to talk about the software. Now the software on this camera is very similar to all the software that have been coming out on Sony digital cameras for the past couple years now. It's still very solid. It offers you a lot of control. You can navigate the menus and adjust your settings with ease using the dial ring. But then also too, you can assign functions to that function button and allow you to quickly change your picture effect or change your ISO, things like that. And speaking of picture effects, it has all the same popular picture effects from the Sony RX100, like HDR painting mode, partial color, or Tor camera effects. You have a lot of stuff you can play around with to kind of make your images stand out a little bit more. Then you'll find the sweep panoramic, the smile shutter, all those things that are pretty standard that I've covered in multiple reviews, so I'm not going to spend too much time on here. So the software on this RX100 Mark II is still really good. The only thing I have a problem with is just that the processing after taking certain images can take up to about 5 or 6 seconds sometimes, and that can cause you to miss your picture. That doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes, especially in low light situations, it just takes a little bit longer than what I want. All right, now let's going to get to the performance of this camera and start taking a look at some of the pictures and videos that this camera can capture. Now, first off, this camera does feature a new 20.2 megapixel sensor inside of it. And it's going to allow you to get an ISO from 160 all the way up to 12,800. So it's going to be great for low light situations. If you're going to be capturing in near darkness at nighttime or indoors in low lighting, this camera is going to perform even better than its previous generation. Then also featuring the f1.8 Carl Zeiss lens that can get you 3.6 times optical zoom. So all this is going to allow you to take very nice and sharp and crisp images where the color just bursts off on the screen. And if you're able to look at some of these pictures on a display on a MacBook Pro Retina or a Chromebook Pixel, you're really going to be able to see all the detail that this camera can produce. Now, some people have noted that this camera does take softer images than the previous generation, but to me, honestly, I didn't see that difference that much in my pictures, and I would tell you that these pictures still look as amazing as the previous generation. And everything I'm showing you right now, just me using the camera handheld without a tripod. So you can see that the steady shot image stabilization in this camera does reduce, motion blur, anything like that by your hand shaking. So all that is really sharp, and I didn't really have that many bad images that I had to pick out of using this camera. Now, when it comes to video, you can take full HD 1920 by 1080 videos with this camera. You can shoot in either 60p, 60i, or 24 frames per second to really get that cinematic look if you wanted to. And it can record in AVC HD or MP4, but you're really gonna get the best quality using AVC HD. And so I'm just gonna let you take a look at some of the video I was able to capture with this camera.
Bleep.
All right, so you can see that video looks solid. I mean, this camera just produces great images, great video, and it's a really good all-around camera for a lot of different situations in low light or outside. So this is gonna wrap up my review of the Sony RX100 Mark II. And what this camera does is just basically takes everything I loved about the previous generation, and it doesn't take a lot of leap and bounds to really make drastic improvements, but it just makes the necessary improvements, especially when it comes to the tiltable display, better low light performance, NFC and Wi-Fi capabilities, and that multi-interface shoot, and just really adds to this camera's legacy of just being one of the best digital cameras. So if you're a casual shooter or if you're a professional that want to capture raw images, this camera is going to be a great camera to put in your pocket and take with you everywhere. It's going to get you DSLR type of performance, but in a pocket-sized camera. And so this camera is going to be retailing for $749 right now. So that's definitely steep in the digital camera world out there, but you're going to be really getting some good performance in a small package. So anyway, guys, this about wraps up my review of the Sony RX100 Mark II. But before I do officially end this video, it's going to take one let's look at our sponsor. Today's sponsor is lynda.com, which is an online learning company and has over 77,000 video tutorials to help teach you software, creative, and business skills. And so you can learn about web design, programming, photography, audio, video, 3D, and animation, a whole bunch of different things on this website. And memberships start at just $25 a month, and they provide you 24/7 unlimited access to top quality video tutorials from experts that have real world experience. And so if you want to try this out absolutely free for 7 days, you can go to lynda.com/soldier, either on your computer or your iPhone and your iPad via one of their apps. Again, that's lynda.com/soldier. All right, guys, that wraps up this video. Leave a comment down below what you think about this camera, and I'll be adding some pictures that I've taken with this camera on my Facebook fan page, facebook.com/SKBfans, and also on my Google Plus page. I'll leave all the links down below so you can see some high-res images that I can take from this camera. So I'll have those up either now or in a couple days from this video. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.